Ken Livingstone, you won. You were elected mayor from the left. I don't think there's that much difference between your policy positions and Jeremy Corbyn's.
No, we've worked together for 45 years. I mean, and I have to say in that 45 years, and I think this is why Jeremy's transformed this race, he never said anything he didn't believe was true. And as the confidence comes out, we were chatting before we came on air, that it's only when you get to our age that confidence comes. Jeremy's got it, you know.
Well, he's 66. Margaret Beckett a moron, as she says, to put Jeremy Corbyn into the race by nominating him, although she doesn't support him?
If Margaret wishes to call herself that, I never really think of Margaret as a moron, but I think she made a very, very bad mistake, yes I do, by really helping to put him in the race.
I mean, perhaps as many as 15 Labour MPs nominated someone they don't support.
But
is that wrong?
Absolutely.
Wrong? I mean, we never used to have this rule. It was only introduced after Tony Benn challenged...
There's always been a threshold, hasn't there?
No, it used to be just nominated by 2 MPs.
Well,
that was
pre-Tony Benn, you're
yes,
talking about, yeah.
And then after Tony Benn, it's this big thing. And it is awful, you know. It's like something out of North Korea. It's completely inappropriate, you know. People should be allowed to just stand.
Does Jeremy Corbyn represent a set of policy positions that could get Labour victory at the next election?
I think not. The party needs to have, Adam, a much broader appeal and not a narrow appeal. I know Ken, GLC, Labour mayor victory twice, and did a very good job, and Londoners have a lot to be grateful to Ken for. But as far as I'm concerned, Jeremy, I'm sure, is a very good constituency MP. But we need a messenger who can deliver a message to the public. He is not that messenger. Well, since 2005, Adam, he's gone against the whip over 25% of the time. Is that leadership? Is that someone who's going to bring unity to the party? I think not. And I personally, I think we've got to get out of the London bubble as well. And to me, I'm supporting Andy Burnham. I think he has got the right credentials to be the leader of the party. I think he can be the right messenger for the party. But we all need to work together on what the message is for him to deliver, including Jeremy.
I mean, you are supporting Andy Burnham, but how would you describe the overall quality of the field, leave aside Jeremy Corbyn?
Well, I would just talk about the quality of the person I want to support. I prefer to say that. And I do believe that Andy does have qualities. He did a great job on the Hillsborough situation. I think he's did an excellent job of shadow health. And I think he can be the right messenger. He's someone that you can really, you know, touch and feel. And I think he's a human being. And I think he can really help take the Labour Party out of its current mess, which we are in, and take us forward.
But, I mean, what would you say, Ken Livingstone, to Tony Blair we've heard from today and Tristram Hunt and others saying, look, you win elections from the centre. If you take the party to the left, there are going to be fewer supporters.
We didn't lose the election this year because we were too left-wing. We went into that election saying we're basically going to be not quite as nasty as the Tories and take a little bit longer. That didn't inspire. Today, Jeremy's come out with, I mean, I think that the central issue, more investment to build a modern, high-tech, high-skilled economy. Both Thatcher, Blair and Cameron have all seen appallingly low levels of investment, and he's shown ways we can invest.
You can talk about investment and it sounds nice, but what he's actually talking about funding that for more borrowing and more taxation.
No, he's not.
Well, it is. I read his economic document.
No, I've read it, and if you see, he's using quantitative easing. The Bank of England just created £375 billion to prop up the banks. Hasn't fuelled inflation, not done any damage.
He's also talking about raising taxation.
If we can create money to actually invest in surviving the banks, let's build a modern transport system, a modern broadband. And he's actually focusing not on increasing taxes for ordinary people, but actually saying to Google and Starbucks and Amazon, you're going to pay your fair share of tax. And if we get these international corporations to pay their fair share of tax, you can reduce the tax burden on British firms.
I mean, he's saying he can raise another 120 billion. I mean, that's not really credible, is it?
Tax avoidance and evasion in this country is most likely near to 150 billion. That's 10% of our annual economy.
As a businessman, what do you think of that?
As far as tax avoidance, tax evasion, I completely endorse what Jeremy has said, and I completely endorse what Ken has just said. But Ken, it's about the messenger, delivering the message. And Jeremy just cannot be a messenger for the Labour Party that's going to have a broad appeal to the electorate, that's going to take our party forward. You and I want the same thing. We want to be back in power because, you know what? Opposition is not much fun. And he is not the person who can take us there. You said to me before, until he came in the race, that you supported Andy.
Yeah.
He's in the race, so what? Go back and support Andy, because he can take us forward.
If Andy wins, I'll spend the next 4 years campaigning to get him elected.
Great.
But when we had the Michael Foot leadership election, I supported Dennis Seeley. I love Michael Foot, but I didn't think he could win. If I didn't think Jeremy could win, I wouldn't support him, because I want my kids to have a better future. They won't get that under a Tory government. But I think Jeremy connects with people. People stop me on the street. They're really into, here's a man who says what he thinks and believes, and none of it's frightening or scary. You start talking about investing and creating new jobs or making the tax dodgers pay, that's going to go down well all over.
I agree about the tax situation totally, but as far as I'm concerned, I've just got a new granddaughter.
Yeah,
I want a better future
what about
for
the
that.
IRA
But
and Hamas being
Jeremy is not the person who is going to broaden Labour's appeal. If we're trying to go to a narrow grouping of people, Ken, I'm sure some of these people are people who know Ken Livingstone, then he is not the right person to broaden our appeal and take us
At least the contest has got fascinating. Thank you both very much indeed, and we will be discussing